I feel like pretty much every week of the podcast this season has been, well, they didn't get a result, did they? But there's some positives to take, and look out, remember how far we've come, all that kind of stuff. I feel like we've been rinsing and repeating that a bit.
I get that people are really, really fed up of that now, and I sensed a bit of a shift after this one that there's some comments now starting to be levelled at us in the media in terms of I don't want to keep hearing about the journey and starting to sort of holding people to account a bit more and all that sort of stuff. I don't know what kind of holding people to account looks like at this juncture in time in terms of, is the effort there? Yes, I think it is. But there's so many different debates to open up. Could the recruitment have been better? Yeah, in parts, but I would say more was right than wrong in terms of if you look at that. Could McKenna have been more tactically flexible? We've had a big debate about that on previous podcasts. We don't need to go into the depths of that, but I think more so than people give him credit for. And then you get into all the major caveats of injuries and referees and sliding doors moments and all of that. Look, even if all of that had gone Ipswich's way, they'd have probably still come up short. But there's no disgrace in that. We keep saying it. It's they just got there a little bit too soon this season, and it's been a step too far. And it gets us onto the kind of perspective piece. And I think this game has provided a neat way of kind of looking. McKenna always uses this phrase of progress isn't always linear, and I think it's I do think there's an interesting debate about the comparing and contrasting the performances against Leicester and Southampton in the Championship compared to the Premier League. The points return has gone down drastically this season, but I would say the gap in terms of the eye test, as Alex says, in terms of what you see on the pitch and the periods of play where one team is kind of controlling it on top, feels like that's narrowed very much. And the whole narrative around Ipswich, no right to compete with Leicester and Southampton last season, major underdogs, and did it against the odds. To this season, it's even though Ipswich have dropped below Leicester now, there's a sense that Ipswich are in a more stable place and we're in a better position as a club, as the bigger picture, more stable going forward. So, yeah, I know people are really hurt and frustrated and fed up of losing football matches at the moment, but I guess our job is to try and be objective and take that little one step back from the emotion of it, and that's what I'm trying to do at the moment. But it's not fun, is it? I'm still continually talking about defeats.
Well, I suspect a lot of it is the nature of this game, isn't it? Certainly the frustration that I feel, given that I live with a Leicester fan, it felt like going into this game was a winnable game, a game that you'd hope that Town would come away with something from, and then you can say, oh, they're going to finish 18th, they're going to get this extra money, which interesting. I saw Kieran make reference of after the game in terms of reasons to win the game, and then obviously they've lost to a team that have been awful all season, pretty much since they got rid of hanging with Mr. Cooper. They've been dreadful. So I can understand quite a lot of frustration around this game, this result, as a standalone thing, because it felt like something that I guess we could cling on to before the season finishes, that they were going to probably get something from Leicester, finish 18th, get a bit of money, and we're all going to the summer feeling, not too bad about things, whereas they've lost